So Gio, you guys get your first win this weekend. What can you take away from the game, and how can you build off it now going into this match against New York?
First of all, it's always better to build on victories, even though the defeats make you think deeper. But the environment, the spirit after this match has been very good. I think an important match that we needed, and especially playing at home where our fans, there was a lot of good things that we did. Some other things we need to improve. But overall, I think it was a very positive day.
Looking ahead to New York, they've obviously had a tremendous start to the season. It seems like it's going to be a good test for you guys. What challenges are they going to present?
As you mentioned, they're one, if not the top team right now in the league. They had a great start. They've been working for 3 years to build this team. And now I think they feel that they're closest to what they were looking for. And they're very strong. It's going to be a tough test for us, but a great test, a test that we want to have, a test that we want to encounter at home. And we're very motivated for this match this weekend.
Over the weekend, Esprilla wasn't in the 18. Can you talk about the reason for that?
Yeah, the reason is that for me, I'm trying to always have the 18 that I think are more suited for a game, but also the ones that have been doing something more, doing the practices. And that's why I had the 18 that I had for this past weekend. But on Sunday, we did a little scrimmage. Asprilla played very well. He's playing with T2 tomorrow night as well, getting some minutes. And that's very important for us as well to make sure that the guys that haven't played in some moments with the first team, that they still are getting matches to be ready to step in and play with the first team.
And Vitas was working with the trainer. It looked like today. Is he? I thought he was back, but is he still working through an injury?
He's still working through the injury. He's not there yet. We have to be patient with him, and he's working very hard to try to come back. But he's not there yet.
Did he have maybe a setback? Because wasn't he available? I'm forgetting, maybe in the Orlando game or one of the away games, he came back and was available.
It was an interesting situation because we have felt in the past few weeks that he was getting closer and closer, and that's why we brought him to Chicago. But then we realized during the week that he wasn't as close as we thought because it's been a little bit up and down. So when we evaluated, we felt that before we wanted to bring him back to the first team, we wanted to give him a T2 game. And then in the T2 game, even though he didn't play, the full match, he felt something again. So that's why, we wanted him to go first with T2 before he played with the first team. So it's something that we've been evaluating. The guys, the medical group, with Nick, John, the doctors, they're doing a fantastic job to make sure that they're on top of him. We had a meeting this morning to continue to analyze his situation, and hopefully we can get him back soon.
Fernando Adi got his goal in the match over the weekend. He's certainly had his contributions up until this point, but how important is it to see him getting that first goal and making that contribution to the team?
Yeah, first of all, for a striker, getting goals is the energy that the strikers need and the confidence. So you saw as soon as he scored the goal, it's like he was relief because it's been a long time. He got injured last season, didn't play for a few matches. It took him a little while to be able to get back into it, and we see him now more loose, more comfortable, with a better rhythm, and getting a goal and almost a second goal. For an inch offside probably. It was good for Adi, in this match, especially for him feeling the love of the fans here at home.
For Adi, what are your sort of emphases for him? What is it that you're really asking him to do up top there? is there any adjustment from maybe the role that he played previously?
I think with our strikers, not only that we work in two different ways. We work to make them be better strikers, to work in in the things that they can be better, but also how can they be part of the group in the system that we've been playing, and how to be effective. And the link between him, Blanco, and Valeri, with Armentero sometimes being the one playing, is that association is what we've been working on. And every time they're feeling more comfortable, we've seen game by game how they've been improving offensively. I think from Dallas, when it's the first time that we play this system, to this past match against Minnesota, we have seen a development in our attacks, in the way we go forward, and in the understanding between the players, and it's been progressing very, very well.
Is there still more development that needs to happen there, or are they at a good spot now?
No, they are in good spot, and if he hasn't played some matches, not because he wasn't the favorite one not to play, or to play. I think we have two very good strikers, and actually we have three, with Jeremy as well, when he's pushing to get in as well. So when you see him maybe one match that he's out, it's not he's out of favor, or it's because he hasn't scored goals, or the coach doesn't like him. No, it's just giving minutes to all the players, because everybody's important and we need everyone to be ready for the entire season.
At the other end of the pitch, Bill Tuiloma stepped in a few games ago, and he's been a consistent player since then. What did you see from him to give you the confidence to put him in for that match, and what have you seen since? Since
I arrived in preseason, I saw him working very hard, and he was very confident in everything that he did, every time that he had the chance to play. He's someone that you can talk to. He listens. He likes to learn. And he is very open because he wants to be better. He pushes himself. He's very competitive. And those qualities were the qualities that gave me the confidence that he could step in there and do a good job. And besides the fact that he's a national team player, he's playing in big games against difficult teams, in qualifiers. So going to Peru and playing in Estadio Nacional, it's not an easy thing. And so you have the sense that stepping on the field is not something that he's not used to, and the pressure's not going to go on him. And I think that was an important part as well.
Do you think that it's that outlook and that mentality that's let him acclimate so quickly to the team, or is there something about the team itself in addition?
I think it's been four things. I think one is his confidence. Second is he's a talented player. I think the third is that we've been working together to make sure that we're better defensively. And I've seen, that we have progressed. Still work to be done, but I've seen, something that is better. And the fourth is that socially, he's a guy that everybody likes. He knows how to communicate. He knows how to be able to be, a guy that can be with everybody in the locker room. So I think those 4 points are very important points in why he's doing so well.
Liam Ridgewell, what's the latest status on him?
Yes, Liam trained this morning fully. Unfortunately, he couldn't train on Sunday when we expected him to be able to participate in a little scrimmage because he still was feeling something in his calf. So unfortunately, we could have put him in this match that we wanted to see where he was at. But he practiced fully this morning, and we're evaluating, and he might be part of the plan this weekend. He's always part of the team. He's always an important component, and we're evaluating week to week, to see which are the 18 that we have to have for each match.
Coach, I wanted to go back to this weekend. When you got hired about 4 months ago, you had 4 months to envision what it would be like to finally step into the technical area here at Providence Park. Did it live up to your expectations?
How can I say? You have an expectation, and I think it lived the expectation in the sense of what I expected visually, but feeling it is something different. Being here, feeling the crowd, the support, the energy, is something that you only can understand when you're here. and it surpassed anything that I thought on the emotional part. On the eye, it is exactly what I expected because I knew that it's a fantastic atmosphere.
And then on Sunday, you got to experience the other half of the club with the Thorns. What was it like for you to be able to see that atmosphere that you just alluded to for a second part of this club, the women's team of the club?
First of all, what a good game. It was a good soccer game, and I enjoyed watching the game. And then the environment was fantastic as well. The support, seeing now the stadium change a little bit to red. It was very interesting. I was glad to be able to be there and support the team and enjoy the match.
You were a part of a lot of clubs during your playing career and a couple different clubs in your post-playing career. Have you ever experienced a club that has had that kind of scope and size where it has two teams that are supported to that level?
Not that I can think of. Not that to have two teams in the same club that are supported the way the Timbers and the Thorns are. I just don't remember being part of a club that had that, as their the culture. Yes, being part of the national team, the passion of representing your country, but it's the national team. It's a club. It's not that it's two clubs that are with this culture that this city, this club have been able to do very well, and it's exciting, and it's not surprise because everybody in the United States know.
Yeah, you mentioned an aspect of culture there, and this is my last question about this weekend. Again, you've been part of the Portland community now for 3 or 4 months. What do you think you learned about the Portland soccer community from the 2 games this weekend?
I think, first of all, that they're passionate. They do love the sport. They love soccer. And it's amazing how the guys were doing the line. The night before, I saw them driving outside the stadium, 7 o'clock. They were ready to get into the stadium. So that passion is unique in the city. Is how the Timbers, the Thorns are everywhere. Is how they're looking to participate, to talk about the game because they want to be part of and they want to understand and they leave it. They're excited. They upset because we lose. So they fully invested into the team, and it's exciting to see because that support is fantastic. For us to have in this city, and that's why, as I said before, that's why it's called the soccer city.
And then some follow-up questions about the opponent on Sunday. You have faced them before. You had kind of a ground-level look on them as they grew their organization. What do you think you learned from your time with Cosmos, facing them and observing them, that you can apply to Sunday?
I've seen them develop from being the starting group to then Patrick arriving and creating what he wanted to see. Now bringing the players that fit the system that he wanted to play. And now being able to be in that stage in which things are working in the way they wanted. So being able to see that progress is a great club. It's a club that is supporting on the soccer aspects very much. The coach, the organization is going to be a tough match for us. The times with the Cosmos, it was always a big game, a rival game. Hopefully we can continue with the same record that we have against them, and we know that it's going to be a big challenge. They're playing really well, and they're contenders to be all the way to the end. But for us, we're excited about this match. We're very excited because we know it's going to be tough. We know it's going to be a good game here. We know they're going to bring some things that we have to deal with, which are going to be difficult. But it's a team that we can beat, and that's one thing that we have spoken this morning, and that we're preparing for this weekend.
One of many characteristics that are distinct to Coach Vieira's team is that he's instilled or he's trained into them a confidence on the ball that is very difficult to shake out of them. So from your point of view as a coach, particularly one that does want to pressure at certain times, does that make you more likely to have the team persist with that and work harder, or do you become less likely to do that knowing that New York is as capable as any team in the league of dealing with that? Yeah,
we first of all, we have seen matches in which some moments they had a difficult time, depending the teams that they play against. They have their identity, and they invested into that identity. They are a possession-based team, mobile, dynamic, with a quick ball movement. So they're difficult in some moments. So we have to be smart in how we're going to pressure, how we want them to play, what areas we're going to leave them, and what spaces for us to be able to take a little more advantage. But it's going to be a tough match because they do have good players. They have a good system that they understand well. And Patrick is a good coach. So, it's going to be a good challenge for us.
And speaking of the players, they have gotten two of their more prominent players back over last week, Alexander Ring in midfield, and then, of course, Davidia up top. Do you anticipate that will change anything that Patrick Vieira is going to try to do or that he's going to want to do now that he has two of his key players back?
No, I think they're going to continue to play the same way that they've been playing. It's been successful for them. The only thing now, they have a tremendous player like Villa, who's recovering, who's getting ready, who's shown that he doesn't age. And it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough, but this is what we want. This is what makes us be more excited to play against a good team.
To ask just about another player, Zarek Valentin's been a guy that's sort of a utility guy for you. He's been able to play on either outside back position. What have you seen from him this year?
I think he's a player that has understood his role very quickly. He's a smart player. He's a player that tries to keep things simple. He's a player that follows, the assignments that you ask him to do on the field. And he continues to grow as a player. So I think, for those reasons, he's been the one that has been able to play for us either on the left side, on the right side, because he's smart that way to know what to do and keep things very, very simple.
And how does he contribute in the locker room with just, he seems to have a very likable personality?
Yeah, no, he's one of the guys that is very much friends with everyone in the locker room. Everybody likes him. He's he's someone very social, and he's like all the guys in the locker room. Right now we have a really good group, very, very good spirit in the locker room.
And just to clarify on Vitez, you said you hope he'd be back soon. He would be. It sounded like he's definitely out for this weekend, though, or where's he at in terms of a timeline?
Yeah, I think we can say that he's going to be out this weekend. Right now, he's not able to what we think unless he surprises us, which he's done in the past. But right now, it doesn't look in the evaluations that we have done so far. It doesn't look like he might be part of this weekend.